Have you ever wondered why you bought something you didn't actually need? Maybe it was a pair of shoes, a gadget, or some late-night online order you barely remember placing until the package showed up. The truth is, we've all been there. And it's not because we're bad with money, it's because our brains are wired in ways that nudge us towards spending. In this video, we're going to explore the psychology of spending, why we so often buy things we don't really need, and, most importantly, what you can do to take back control. Stick around until the end, because I'll share one simple bonus trick that can completely change how you think about every purchase you make. Let's start with dopamine, the brain's anticipation chemical. Dopamine doesn't just fire when you get a reward, it spikes when you expect one. That's why online shopping feels weirdly addictive. Clicking add to cart, tracking the delivery, and seeing the package arrive all keep your brain lit up before you've even opened the box. Marketers know this. Countdown timers, flash sales, limited time banners, these aren't just design choices, they're psychological hooks built to keep your dopamine loop going. The result? You feel a little thrill right now, and your future self gets the bill later. Next up, social influence. Humans are wired to fit in. Thousands of years ago, belonging to the group meant survival. Today, that instinct shows up in our spending. We buy new clothes to look current, the latest phone to feel connected, and luxury items to signal success. Social media pours gasoline on this fire. Every time you scroll, you see curated highlight reels, vacations, outfits, cars, unboxing videos. Even if you don't think you're comparing, your brain is. The problem is that this comparison game never ends. There will always be someone with more. Financially successful people learn to step back and measure progress against their own goals, not someone else's edited life. Here's a big one, emotional spending. Most of us don't shop for things, we shop for feelings. Stressed? A treat feels like relief. Sad? A new purchase gives a temporary lift. Bored? Browsing fills the gap. The feeling fades quickly, but the financial consequences don't. That's why emotional spending often leaves a financial hangover. You got the short-term mood boost, but now, you're stuck with less cash, more clutter, or even debt. The solution isn't to never spend, it's to separate emotions from money. Notice when the urge to spend comes from stress, sadness, or boredom, and swap in a healthier habit for that feeling. A walk, a workout, a call with a friend, a 5-minute journal entry. You still address the emotion, just without the bill attached. Let's talk about scarcity. Only 2 left! Sale ends in 10 minutes. Last chance. Scarcity makes things feel more valuable, even when they aren't. Under pressure, our brains rush to avoid missing out. It's effective because it bypasses rational thinking. But here's the truth. In most cases, the last chance isn't really the last chance. Sales come back. Inventory returns. If a website or ad is pushing you to act fast, that's your cue to slow down. If it's truly worth buying, it'll be worth buying tomorrow. Another sneaky force, the credit card effect. Paying with cash activates the brain's pain centers. You literally feel the loss of money. Cards delay that pain, so spending feels painless in the moment. That's why we tend to spend more with cards than with cash. It's not that cards are bad. They can be great tools if you pay them off in full. But if you're struggling with impulse buying, switch discretionary spending to cash or a debit card. When the money is visible and finite, your decisions get sharper. Spending also ties into identity. We don't just buy products, we buy stories about ourselves. A new suit feels like confidence. A new phone feels like belonging. A fancy car feels like status. Marketers know this and sell lifestyles, not just items. There's nothing wrong with wanting to express yourself through what you own. The danger is when your self-worth gets fused to your possessions. Real financial freedom starts when you define your identity by your values and actions, not your shopping cart. So how do you take back control? Start with a simple pause rule. For any non-essential purchase, wait 24 hours, 48 if it's pricey. This interrupts the dopamine loop and gives your rational brain time to catch up. If you still want it after the pause, great, buy it. If the urge fades, you just saved money without feeling deprived. Second, budget for fun. Unplanned spending wrecks progress. Planned enjoyment keeps you sane. Give yourself a monthly fun money amount. Spend it guilt-free, but when it's gone, it's gone. Third, track your emotions. When you feel the itch to buy, write a one-sentence note. Wanted to shop because I was stressed after work. That tiny bit of awareness weakens the impulse next time. Fourth, switch to cash for discretionary categories like dining out or shopping. Handing over physical money makes the trade-off real. Finally, set bigger goals. It's easier to say no to small impulses when you're saying yes to something larger. Paying off debt, building an emergency fund, investing for freedom, saving for a trip you'll remember for life. Here's the bonus trick that can permanently change your relationship with money. Reframe every purchase in time, not dollars. If you make $20 an hour and you want a $200 gadget, that's 10 hours of your life. Is it worth half a week of work? Sometimes the answer is yes, great. But make that decision consciously. When you think in hours instead of dollars, your choices naturally align with what you value most. Because money is a tool, but time is your life. Let's put it all together. Overspending isn't a moral failure, it's predictable psychology. Dopamine primes you to anticipate rewards. Social comparison nudges you to keep up. Emotions push you to buy relief instead of addressing the feeling. Scarcity ramps up urgency. Credit cards blur the pain of paying. Identity convinces you that purchases define you. But once you know the playbook, you can flip the script. Slow down. Plan what matters. Spend intentionally. And build a system that supports the person you want to become, not the algorithm trying to sell you the next thing. If this helped you see your spending habits differently, tap subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos on personal finance and money psychology. And tell me in the comments, what's the last thing you bought that you didn't really need, and what triggered it? The more we understand our patterns, the easier it becomes to change them.